Welcome back to the show. It's time for Smackdown Review. Friday Night Smackdown, February 10th, 2012. The main event set up for this week's show was Daniel Bryan and Randy Orton, and definitely a match I was looking forward to. But to kick off the show, we got a promo, what originally started off as a promo from Sheamus, but eventually Wade Barrett, Big Show, and Cody Rhodes would come in and, interrupt him pretty much. And even though I enjoy these multi-man promos usually, I thought everybody was kind of, I understand everybody wants to win the chamber, so everybody has to say that, but I do appreciate a little mixing up of the promos. The connection, of course, other than the chamber in this promo, was that Sheamus and Big Show would be taking on Cody Rhodes and Daniel Bryan later on in the show. Oh, I'm sorry, Wade Barrett and Cody Rhodes later on in the show. Which is, of course, sounds like a pretty good match. And thankfully we didn't get the Teddy Long, this is a tag match right now, but makes me wonder if the higher-ups and the writers have caught on to everybody, joking about the Teddy Long tag match theory. From there, we got more of my buddy, the Great Khali, this time squashing Jinder Mahal. I understand you gotta push Khali because he's in the chamber, but why are we still shitting on Jinder Mahal? We still got a little time before the chamber, maybe get a mini story, wrap up everything with Khali and Jinder, but no. Chokeslam, 2 minutes, done. Boo. My whole thing on Great Khali, boo. We got more of Beth Phoenix and Tamina feud, if you want to call it that. Beth squashed Alicia Fox, of course. Good back-to-back squashes from Khali and Beth. That's great. 4 minutes of wrestling. Sad. Bounced Alicia Fox off her head with the Glam Slam, and then Tamina came out and gave her a stare down. Beth Phoenix hit the bricks, and if you go to WWE.com or their YouTube account, you can see Beth saying that she is glad to see Tamina stepping up as a challenger. And like I said on the Raw review, I hope we get a good, clean match between these two. I believe from what I've seen from Tamina, she can put on a good match. But hopefully we'll see it at Elimination Chamber if Tamina and Beth Phoenix can have a great one-on-one contest. From here, of course, we continue the absolutely stupid Natalya farting storyline, which I'm really surprised came around for SmackDown. SmackDown's usually keeps it a little more, quality to their storylines, but, I mean, if they think this is going to work, they're going to run with it. The only highlight from this stupidity was that this week she farted and Hornswoggle came around. He ended up, of course, head first in the stink cloud and fell over dead like a bug. And despite the stupidity, I got a good chuckle out of this. I don't know that everybody found it as funny, but I definitely got a kick out of it. Just the fact that he dropped, and, it was a good bit from Swoggle. I enjoy him when he's used in things like this. And, of course, the segment was so short. I mean, some people react like this is a 20-minute part of the show. It's like under a minute. Don't worry about it. Calm down. Okay? Just simmer down now. From there, we got the tag match, Cody Rhodes and Wade Barrett versus Sheamus and Big Show. And much like the Impact main event, this was, ran the typical format. But what I did like about this match was that Big Show was the good guy in peril, while Cody Rhodes and Wade Barrett put the beat down on him. And Sheamus ended up getting the victory with the bro kick. But I really appreciate that in this match, Barrett and Rhodes weren't made to look like jobbers like they were against Khali and Orton. They got a good amount of offense in on Big Show, which is good because it ups their credibility a lot too. I mean, when Cody Rhodes came in, of course, WWE Little Man Syndrome, you know, he basically got treated like a jobber. But it's good to see him now where he's more established and has filled out a bit in his frame that they can actually have him get a good amount of offense in on Big Show, where in years past he just would have been tossed aside like a little ant. And like I said, it's just good to see Barrett and Rhodes not be completely shit on in this match. And Sheamus, of course, continues his role on the way to WrestleMania. Then we got an interesting segment where Michael Cole was interviewing AJ about everything that's gone on with Big Show and Daniel Bryan, and she flipped the whole script on him, saying that he caused more damage with all the stupid shit he says than Big Show's ever caused, which does have a hint of truth to it. I feel that Michael Cole kind of has gone off the chain a few times in his heel character, to the point where there's a fine balance of annoying people too much, and I think that he must at times drive away the casual viewer of Raw. Obviously, if you're a hardcore fan like myself, it doesn't matter how terrible Michael Cole is, I'm still tuning in every Monday night. But for the normal person who's just flipping through the channels and sometimes you hear Cole go on and shit upon people, it's gotta, you know, have an effect in a negative manner where, you know, he's not in a feud, so he's not going to get punched in the face anytime soon for saying all these things. And, you know, he does hurt the show. But back into the storyline on the show, of course, he freaked and said, you know, got in AJ's face, telling her, hey, you're an idiot. Daniel Bryan's just using you to help keep the championship. Now, at this point, AJ's looking like a big good guy. Cole's always a piece of shit like he is. And then Daniel Bryan comes out. Now, unfortunately, no, I can't sit here on this day and tell you that Daniel Bryan kicked Michael Cole's head off and put him in cattle mutilation, but that's what I would have liked to see. But unfortunately, Cole hit the bricks, and for whatever reason, Daniel Bryan decided to go on about everybody eating meat at the Super Bowl over the weekend and at home eating meat, and he was out on a nature walk during the Super Bowl, which is perfectly reasonable. A lot of nice things to see in nature. So he was basically just being a douchebag, continuing his vegan rant and all this. But I would really like to see something go down between Michael Cole and Daniel Bryan. Now, I'm not sure, but I'm possibly thinking that by the end of all this, maybe we will get Michael Cole as a manager. Now, Michael Cole, of course, does not need to manage Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan does perfectly fine on the mic, but there's got to be, something's got to give here, because Daniel Bryan is living in the tweener realm. Now, obviously, his promos are fully heel, but within the confines of the WWE Universe, he actually hasn't done anything wrong if you really look at it. He hasn't gotten intentionally, well, I mean, alright, he has gotten intentionally disqualified, but because other people are doing it, he's winning the matches. So he's kind of like the not heel. He gives heel promos, but he doesn't really cheat per se to win. So he is living in a shade of gray area, and it's really kind of cool. I give WWE credit for coming up with this, finding this awkward place where he's fully booed, but he doesn't really cheat. You know, it's kind of cool. I'm enjoying it. Like I said, I'm really hoping that the culmination of everything is Daniel Bryan and Sheamus at WrestleMania. They got fucking screwed last year, and I think they could tear the house down this year. From there, we got a little match with Hunico and Ted DiBiase. I'm glad these two young guys are getting a chance to have a feud. I mean, it's obviously started from a little thing. Hunico and Camacho don't appreciate that Ted DiBiase throws his money around having tailgate parties with the fans and the DiBiase posse. So they took it upon themselves to start fucking with Ted. And then a couple of weeks back, when he had his wrist injured, they went ahead and smashed him into the steps and broke it, which culminated to this match. And it was a good little match. I mean, it's not gonna, it's not Taker and Michaels, of course, but they did a good little match. And of course, they had their flag match a few weeks back too. This was good. Hunico worked over the cast. DiBiase has a full cast on his wrist now. And so the most of the match was Hunico working the wrist, and then Ted out of nowhere got a roll up on Hunico to continue things. I think Ted is working real hard. Ted DiBiase knows there's a lack of upcoming faces, so he's working hard to get his spot up there. He has had plenty of matches with Daniel Bryan in the past too, so maybe after everything goes down with WrestleMania, maybe by the time we get to the summer, maybe Ted will be back in a position to feud with Daniel Bryan with roles reversed, where Daniel Bryan can be the heel and Ted DiBiase is the face. I'd like to see Ted get up there. Like I said, WWE needs some more upcoming faces. And overall, like I said, I'm just happy to see Hunico and Ted DiBiase getting pushed on the show. And I gotta say, I was not particularly a fan of Hunico as Sin Cara Negro, mostly because I'm just not a fan of one person taking another person's place as the same character. But once he became Sin Cara Negro, it was a little better. But I definitely prefer him overall as Hunico. He's filling out the character well. We haven't had a thuggish Latino character in a while. Possibly all the way back to Los Boricuas in WWE anyway. I don't really think you could classify Chavo and Eddie as they certainly weren't fully thuggish. So I'm enjoying the run. I'd like to see Camacho get a match. What the hell? As I understand it, he's the son of Ming, also known as Haku in other circles. And I really like to see what he can do out there. He seems like a big dude. He does look a lot like Lenny Kravitz when he's in his Camacho gear. I gotta throw that out there. But I like to see what he can do in the ring. And then, of course, our main event, something I look forward to very much, was Randy Orton versus Daniel Bryan. And for the 99% of the match, it was actually really great. I'd like to see these two get a full-out 20-minute match, 30-minute match at some point. I certainly could see them coming down to the last two in the chamber. I don't really see anybody else. Well, it could be Big Show and Daniel Bryan coming down to the last two, but I think quality-wise, Orton and Daniel Bryan would be the best two to finish out the chamber. And at the end, Daniel Bryan, kind of like I said earlier, he actually, instead of trying to finish the match with Randy Orton, he jumped outside, grabbed the World Heavyweight Championship, and got in Big Show's face. Big Show, of course, tossed him back in the ring, which got Daniel Bryan the win by disqualification. So, as I said, even though he's not fully cheating, he's still a dick and a heel, but more of an asshole than Big Show, but not as much of an asshole as Michael Cole. So he's living in that in-between area. And it's just a cool storyline overall. Of course, after the match, after the DQ, of course, he ate an RKO. And another cool little bit was, of course, now Randy Orton was pissed because he just could have got a win on the World Champion. So he went outside and he said, well, I don't fully give a fuck. I'm getting in Big Show's face. And they got into a brawl. And if you want to see more of that brawl, head over to WWE.com. They have a continued video of that brawl. I believe also available on WWE's YouTube page. Overall, good episode of SmackDown. I liked it. Not the greatest. Of course, we had to sit through terrible Great Khali. If like I said, I'm glad Tamina's challenging Beth, but I'm kind of getting sick of the 2-minute Beth wins. Natalia's stuff stupid, but good tag match. Sheamus and Show versus Barrett and Rhodes, better than the tag match from Raw. And of course, can't go wrong with Randy Orton, Daniel Bryan. Thank you guys for tuning into the show this week. Don't forget to check out my Facebook, follow me on Twitter, I've got a bunch of great stuff on eBay right now. Check out PWS Forum. You can see my action figure wrestling shows. Those are really good. And of course, thank you to Manifest for the music on the show as always. And of course, I'll see you guys next week on PWS, Phil's Wrestling Show.